Good evening, Year 6 and your families, and welcome to Woodbrook Vale School. My name's Mrs. Fraser, and I'm here in the office, and I'm going to introduce you to some of the information that we've got available for you today. Now, normally you would have come to us and we would have had an evening in our theatre over there, and I would have spoken to you. I'm still going to share with you some of the things that I would have shared with you at that time, but I've also got a few treats in terms of some videos from your tutors and some comments from some of the senior leadership team, and also some of last year's Year 7 have put together a bit of a video for you. So look forward to that, and without further ado, we'll begin. So here we are. This is your school from now on, and what I'd like to do is to just run through with you some of the reasons why you may have chosen the school, and also some of the reasons why I chose the school. I came to Woodbrook just about a year ago now, on June the 3rd, 2019, and the things that attracted me to the school and made me want to apply for the job were the things that are wrapped in these values. These are things to do with actually enjoying school. These are things to do with being motivated, being determined, being inspired, being proud of your achievements, making a contribution not just to school but to the community, for learning how to be resilient, for thinking about how important it is to have high self-esteem, and also about using school as a way of developing accountable citizens who know how to play their part in society. Of course, the other good news really about the school is that we are very oversubscribed. This year we had 304 applications, 460 places. We work significantly above the national average for progress, and we certainly usually end up in the top 10% for English and maths. Attendance is above the national, persistent absence is below the national. We don't do permanent exclusions here because we're in Leicestershire, and our Ofsted was better than good, and we're expecting them to come back and visit us soon. In terms of how we work together, the most important thing that I would say is it is a partnership. But I would ask you to support us in maintaining our high standards. You wouldn't have chosen our school if you didn't want high standards for your child. So let's be really clear from the start that uniform is what it should be. There are no compromises. Please don't ask me to allow your child to wear trainers or to wear jeans just for today, because I'm afraid we won't allow it. What we will do is we'll help your child to put the right footwear on, and we'll lend them the right things that they need to be lent. In some cases, we'll even purchase a uniform in order for children to be right. But what we won't do is to allow children to be wandering around school who are not in the correct uniform. Okay, we do it really kindly, and we always look after them, and we will look after you too. But we do have high expectations. If you get uniform right, the other things tend to look after themselves. We do have an attitude to learning scale, and we will be introducing the children to that really early on. The basics of that are that we want them to develop a work ethic, an ethic that puts value to effort and determination. We do say that please don't just allow children to shy away from things that are difficult. Doing things that are hard make you capable of doing things that are even harder. Okay? Clever isn't something you are, clever is something you get. And we get it through the efforts and the hard work. And we subscribe to something called the growth mindset. And you'll hear about it, a little bit more about that when your child joins the school. We do say talk to us. We're a really, really listening school. Parenting is really hard. We're happy to listen. Tutors will talk to you. Heads of year will talk to you. We will always get back to you within 24 hours. And I think, most of the families that know us know that's one of our strengths here at Woodbrook. I would ask you to help your child to be always fully equipped and prepared for school. Coming with the right equipment, coming with a pen, demonstrates to the teacher that you've come with the intention of learning. And of course, in the new situation with the coronavirus pandemic, we can't share equipment anyway. So we would definitely need you to send your child in with a pencil case, with some pen, pencil, ruler, and a couple of other things, perhaps pencil sharpeners, rubbers, etc., because we won't be able to borrow each other's stuff. Keep positive at all times and always be polite and respectful to one another. That's how we have such an enjoyable place to work and to come to school, because we have such positive attitudes towards each other. There's a genuine sense of kindness here at Woodbrook. And I would say, try to challenge yourself. I know some children, for example, really don't want to read out loud in lessons, but it's an amazing thing to do if you can do it. It's really good to develop your reading and your confidence. So I would say read aloud when you're ready and always focus on making sure your work is the best standard it can be. Think of it like a business document, my best work all the time. Now, coming up in the next year, we've already launched the Woodbrook Vale Futures Award, and if you have a look on the website, you'll see that it's an opportunity to earn accreditation for some of the character developing skills that we're going to ask children to be working on. And children will be able to earn the Bronze Award in Year 7. Also for 2020-21, our anti-bullying mentors who were trained by the Diana Trust last year will be picking up their work. And this is students in Year 9 and 10 able to help students in other year groups to support them if they may have a situation with bullying. And it does happen, and we always do try to help as best we can. We've got some environmental challenges ahead at Woodbrook. We're trying to cut down on plastic, and we're trying to make sure that we are impacting on the environment as little as possible. So we've got some wildlife areas being developed in school, and there may be children in Year 6 who are coming into Year 7 who want to get involved in that. We subscribe to the growth mindset. We are in the process of trying to tidy up some buildings. We're hoping to get a new changing room facility organised. We've got a student leaders programme, which one of my students will be talking to you about later on. And we do try to boost academic literacy. So we have a strong programme of boosting vocabulary, what we call Tier 2 vocabulary. And these are the words of academia that we think unlock the curriculum for students at secondary school. I'm now going to hand you over to the students of Woodbrook, ex-Year 7 students, who are going to show you a bit of the school, since you haven't had a chance to come in and see us this summer.
Hello Year 6, welcome to Woodbrook Vale.
This is where you park your scooters in the back, or bikes.
This is one of the places where you can play at lunch and break. You can borrow table tennis bats and balls from student office.
This is the library. You can take books out from here and give it to the people at the desk. They'll then stamp it and give you your due date. You also have tables in the library to do homework, and if you need to do some quick lookups, you can use the the iPads.
At Woodbrook Vale, we have the Futures Award. It helps you to develop your character. The 7 attributes are initiative, communication, leadership, careers, health, community and resilience. If you get all 7 of them, you get a pin badge like this.
This is where you collect your food. You line up along here and then on the footprints. Sometimes the teachers will let you skip the queue by giving you a fast pass if you've been good. Miss, I have a fast pass.
Okay, to the front of the queue then.
Happy days.
These are one of our corridors. Most of the corridors have a one-way system. We're going to show you one of our classrooms.
This is one of the classrooms. This is one of our languages classrooms, as you can tell by the decorations.
Each classroom is very spacious, so it can hold every pupil.
So Matilda, how did you come to be involved in student leadership?
I first learned about it in Year 7 when the teachers told us that we could be involved in a team to help the school become better and have the students have their say and talk about what problems or what they'd like to be better at Woodbrook.
And how did you choose which team to be involved in?
Well, I mainly knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to help in the open evenings and help people around and understand the school, so I knew that school events helped with that, so that was the one I picked.
And can you explain to us how student leadership works at Woodbrook? For example, how is it different to a student council?
Well, at Woodbrook, you don't get voted to be in it. You get to choose if you want to be in it or not, and you do more projects. So So I am in the school events team, and I did the skirt project where we handed out questionnaires about what type of skirts the girls and boys wanted to have up here.
Thank you. Can you tell me a little bit about the leadership teams?
The leadership teams at Woodbrook, there's the transition team, the events team, which I am in, the wellbeing team, the diversity team, which help with LGBTQ, the anti-bullying team, the e-safety team, and the charity and the environment team.
Okay, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that. I know the students just couldn't wait to tell you about the school. And of course, they were in your position just a year ago, so they do know how you feel, and all of Year 7 will be most happy to help you as you arrive when you go forward into your new tutor groups and classes. Now, in terms of key staff, obviously the form tutor is your first port of call. We do ask you to sign the homeschool agreement that's in the pack, which Miss Harper will have sent out to you. Miss Harper, head of Year 7, will have already made some contact with you up to now, and she will be brilliant at keeping in touch and keeping you informed of what's going on. The students can go to the student office, and that's available all day, and that may be if they've forgot their PE kit, if they've found they've come without any lunch money, if they don't feel very well. That office is available for them all day long, and they should familiarise themselves with that. You can email into school at any time. If you email to office@wbvs.co.uk, that will be forwarded to the correct person according to your inquiry. We will be using Go for Schools for homework, but we've been moving over to Google Classroom, and in the first week of school we'll be getting our new Year 7s up and running on Google Classroom, and hopefully that will become our favoured place to put homework. We have an after-school hub. Mr. Hayes will tell you something about that later on. And obviously, if your child has any special educational needs or disabilities, Mrs. Moores, who is our Senko, will be your first port of call. Now, you did miss the summer and the 2-day induction. So what we've done is reorganise the autumn terms so that it begins with a day just for Year 7. And here are some of the details, but we'll be sending those out again separately. We're going to give Year 7 an opportunity to do day 1 of the induction that they would have had in the summer. And all the other year groups will be staying at home that day. So the school's all yours that day, okay? Going to give you some taster lessons, bit of sports. And we'd like you to come in PE kit on that day, because with the coronavirus restrictions, we won't be able to use the changing rooms. It's very hard to stay distant from one another in a changing room. And that's going to happen on August the 26th. Put that in your diary. We'll meet you at the gate at 8:30 and bring you straight in. The tutors will be here and we'll get started, and it'll be a lovely day. Now we've got the exciting part where all of your new form tutors have done a little video for you. Now, you should have received in your welcome pack the name of your tutor, so look out for your tutor as they come up now in this short video.
Hello Year 6, welcome to Woodbrook Vale School. You will be Year 7 when you join us. That might seem slightly scary or you might feel anxious, but trust me, you are not the only person that feels that way. Everybody feels that way when they come up to a new school. My name's Miss Harper, I'm the head of Year 7 and I will be your head of year when you join us. I most look forward to rewarding you all when you come up to the school, and my key message to you all is to remain resilient. Your successes and achievements and abilities and opportunities at Woodbrook Vale when you join us are limitless, so do not limit yourselves. Look forward to these new opportunities, look forward to these exciting new subjects, and I very much look forward to meeting you all very, very soon.
Hello Year 7, I'm Mr Matthews, one of the science teachers at Woodbrook Vale and also one of the Year 7 form tutors. Just a quick message to say that I hope you're working hard and I hope you're enjoying that extra time with your families at the moment. I understand that you're probably a little bit nervous and anxious about joining Woodbrook in September, but don't be, okay? There's plenty of staff and plenty of students that will always try and support you in every way possible, okay? So, in the meantime, stay safe, stay positive. I'll see you soon.
Hi Year 7s, and my name is Mrs Diaper.
Hi Year 7, my name's Mrs Blaze.
And we are the tutors for 7DB SD. So you get 2 for the price of 1 with us. I work at the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday.
And I work Thursday, Friday.
I am a PE teacher.
I'm also a PE teacher.
So our tutor room is going to be in the sports hall classroom. What I'm most looking forward to is welcoming you guys to Woodbrook Vale and having a fresh start, beginning again with you guys for 5 years at Woodbrook Vale.
I'm also looking forward to getting back into school, having a little bit of normality and starting a really new term with new faces. So we can't wait to meet you.
And my message to you is the best is yet to come. Looking forward to seeing you all.
My message to you is to keep smiling and stay positive and be ready to face new challenges.
See you in September.
Bye.
Hi Year 6, soon to be Year 7. My name is Mr Barney. I'm going to be your tutor as part of 7DB. Hopefully everybody's doing okay. Hopefully everybody's hanging in there. I know it's not been easy. And that you're really looking forward to joining our school in August. Woodbrook Vale's a great school. So hopefully when you get there you'll realise that. I'm really looking forward to being a Year 7 tutor again. I'm also really looking forward to getting back to school as well. It's not been easy for us teachers either, but we're all in this together. And the good news is that when we do get back in August, we can hopefully get some normality back into our lives a little bit more as well. I'm an English teacher. I've been an English teacher for 7 years, and I've been at Woodbrook Vale for most of those years as well. So Woodbrook Vale, trust me, is a great school. So I don't want you to worry too much about making that transition. I know it's difficult coming in from obviously a primary school into a secondary school. Maybe you've got some brothers or sisters or know other people that have made that transition. So hopefully they've made you, if that is the case, that they've sort of set your mind at rest a little bit. So I guess my message is just to hang in there a little bit and enjoy the rest of the summer as best you can. Keep working hard if you've been asked to do things as well at home. I'm an English teacher, so I would encourage everybody to be reading books. It's what I've been doing, been reading a lot of books. And yeah, at the end of the summer in August, you're in good hands. You've got a great head of year, and I'm going to do my best to make sure that everything runs as smooth as possible. Okay, I'll see you in August.
Hello, I'm Mrs Tyers and I am the day-to-day Senko and one of the English teachers at Woodbrook Vale. I'm really looking forward to meeting all of you. I'm sure that lots of you are really a little bit nervous, a little bit worried about coming up to secondary school, and that's all perfectly normal. So don't worry at all, and I can promise you that soon it will all feel very normal, getting up and coming here every day. Okay, remember, no question is a silly question, so if ever you have any questions, it's absolutely fine to ask them. You will find me usually in the SEN office, and in there with me is an amazing lady, Mrs Smith, who will be able to answer all of your questions, all of your queries. Okay, in there you can come and ask us anything. If you can't find your form tutor, or you're a little bit worried, or you need a little bit of time out or whatever, that is the place to go. Okay, opposite the SEN office is room 16, which is somewhere you can go at break and lunchtime. It's a safe space. It will always be staffed by our wonderful learning support assistants, and it's a place where you can come and play cards, Uno, other games, Lego, come and have a chat, come and get some help with your homework as well. So it's a lovely, safe indoor space. Okay, if you have a packed lunch as well, you can come and eat it in there, as long as you clear up after yourself and don't make a mess. Alright, so all that remains for me to say is have a lovely holiday. I hope that you are looking forward to coming to us. We are very much looking forward to seeing you, and we will see you after summer. Okay, bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Mr. Parsons. I'll be your form tutor for the next 5 years. I also teach music at Woodbrook Vale, so you'll be having me for music lessons as well. I've perhaps met some of you before when I've been into your primary schools doing concerts and things like that. I've done bits with Holywell and Atwoods and stuff, so you might recognise my face from that. My role as a form tutor, I'll be your first point of call, so if you have any worries when you start school or any point during your time with us at Woodbrook Vale, then I'll be the person to come and speak to and try and sort things out for you, really. You might be a little bit worried about going up to a secondary school as well, and that's perfectly normal, worried about getting lost, making friends and things like that. And I know how you're feeling because my eldest son went up to secondary school last year himself, so a year ago we were in this same position that you guys are in as well. But you'll soon get yourselves familiar with the school and soon find your way around and settle in. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing you. Okay, and we'll see you in August. Okay, bye.
Hello Year 7, my name is Mrs Lomax. I am one of the form tutors of 7ID along with Mr Danby. I teach science at Woodbrook Vale School. I'm really looking forward to being a Year 7 form tutor this coming year and meeting you all when we come back to school. So have a great summer and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Hi Year 7, my name is Mr Godfrey and I'll be the tutor next year for 7TG starting after the summer holidays. As you can probably tell from what I'm wearing, I teach PE at Woodbrook Vale and have done for the last 6 years. So some of you lucky people have me for your form tutor and for your PE lessons, so we'll be seeing a lot of each other. My message for the form group, 7TG, is that I can't wait to meet you all. I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you. And if any of you have any hesitations or worries about starting at Woodbrook Vale School, then please don't. All of the staff, all of the pupils are really accommodating and friendly, and I know you're going to have a great time at Woodbrook Vale. Please stay safe over the summer, and I look forward to meeting you all in August.
Hello, my name is Mr Danby. I'm your form tutor for 7ID. I just want to introduce myself. I'm the head of computing and business at Woodbrook Vale. I'm looking forward to seeing you all in September. I hope you're all well, and I want you to all have a good summer. And we've got loads of interesting things, and you're going to have a great time when you start Woodbrook next year.
Okay, so what a lovely bunch of tutors, and I would just repeat what they've said. You really mustn't worry. We've done this many times with many students, and within about 2 weeks you'll feel like you've been here forever. Now, some of the parents very kindly sent in some questions so that we could get a feel for what you would have asked if you could have been here on open evening. And so here they are. The first one I'm going to hand over to my colleague Mrs Anderson, because Mrs Anderson is in charge of pastoral. And this question is there any help for students who suffer with anxiety, especially with new places? What is your policy for parents going into school? Mrs Anderson, over to you.
It's perfectly normal for students to feel anxious as they move from primary to secondary school. For most students, the form tutor and the head of year will be the main point of contact, but for some students that will need additional layers of support, we have got some specific staff to help those students. We have an intervention room at Woodbrook Vale, and that's staffed by 2 members of staff called Mrs Rennox and Miss Monsieur, and both of those are specially trained to support young people that need extra help if they've been referred by their form tutor or their head of year. In addition to that, we do work with adults from outside of the school. So for example, we have the school nurse in school about every 2 weeks, and they can help with medical issues or issues including anxiety. And we have a relate counsellor that comes into school once a week that can work with individual students as required. Perhaps one of the biggest differences for parents and carers when their child starts secondary school is that you can't take your child to the classroom door. We do ask that parents and carers don't come into the school or come onto the school site at the beginning of the school day. If you do need to drop your child off, then please do so on Grasmere Road and allow your child to walk into school independently. We are trying to encourage students to be resilient and independent, and starting at secondary school is a big part of that. There are opportunities for you to come in to speak to us. Those are organised events such as parents' evenings or rewards evenings or coffee mornings for particular groups of students. We also, as you will know, use Go for Schools to pass over live data on a daily basis. If you do need to come into school, we would politely request that you make an appointment to do that, and you can do that either via email or by contacting the student office or the main reception. Our policy is that we will always aim to get back to you within 24 hours or sooner if it's a more urgent query.
And another one, I think, for you, Mrs. Anderson, which is about, do you offer a buddy system for new starters? Mrs. Anderson, could you give us some input on that one, please?
Student leadership is really important to us at Woodbrook Vale, and as part of that, we've got a number of students that have trained as buddies and peer mentors to support our Year 7 students. Last year, we were particularly delighted that we were able to train some Diana Award ambassadors, and those students will be heavily involved in supporting the transition of Year 7 to Woodbrook Vale. We're planning that we will be able to link several older students to each form group during the transition period, and those older students will be able to support the new Year 7s, answering their questions. They've been through Woodbrook Vale, they know what it's all about, and they will be able to help and support as much as they possibly can. We'd also encourage the Year 7s, as they get settled into Woodbrook Vale, to volunteer to become student leaders themselves. It's a brilliant experience, and it will enable you to be really successful in other aspects of your school life outside of the classroom.
And then we've got another one, which I think is best handled by Miss Harper. What about students not coming from a feeder school? Is there anything in place to help form friendships? And how are students allocated to form groups? Can they select a friend to be with? When will we know the form groups? So this is all about how you get settled into your group. Miss Harper, over to you.
The first thing that we do is we have interviews with each primary school. That includes feeder and non-feeder schools, where we gather information on the students and their current situations and their current classes. So we ensure that each of the form groups contains at least one person of the same sex from their current primary class. So although they don't get to pick, we know that at least when they transition up to us at Woodbrook Vale School, that they are placed with somebody that they know. The second question I have is, what about students not coming from a feeder school, and how do we put things in place to help them form friendships? So as I said earlier, we obviously have those interviews with those non-feeder schools as well, and we place all students from non-feeder schools together where we can, so that they're together in the same situation, and that helps them form friendships and bond over the same situation that they're in. We also plan our transition process, their very first day with us, to ensure that the activities that they participate in are about forming friendships and working together.
Thank you, Miss Harper. Another one here. How are lockers allocated to Year 7 students? Miss Harper, could you answer this one for us, please?
They're on a first come, first served basis, but as Year 7 will be coming to us first before any other year group, they will all be able to access a locker. We also find that the Key Stage 4 students don't tend to use lockers because they have less option subjects such as food technology and PE, so they don't have the same level of equipment that the Key Stage 3 students would have to carry, so they can all find a locker. I know that the SEN office and Room 16 have lockers close to them as well for those students that come up to us that do have an SEN need, so they've got somebody there to help assist them with that.
Okay, and the next question. Is there a homework club or other after-school activities? Mr. Hayes, could you answer this one?
Thank you, Mrs. Fraser. Yes, there is a homework club. It's called The Hub. It happens every night after school. There's 2 members of staff who are dedicated to being there to supervise your child as they continue with their learning. They can use the computers and the library facilities. There's also a wide range of extracurricular activities that the school offer, from sports, art, music and other clubs. Please have a look at the school website, and we're hoping these will return as soon as possible.
Another one for you, Mr. Hayes, I think. As there won't have been introduction days, will there be less pressure on them to fall into lesson? I think what I understand by this is, will they have longer to settle into the curriculum? Mr. Hayes, could you give your response to that one?
Within the first few days of being at Woodbrook Vale, your child will experience all the different lessons they have on their timetable. Learning will start quickly, but students will be supported, and teachers are dedicated to personalised learning to give your child every opportunity to thrive at the school. Our teachers believe in aspire, enjoy and succeed.
Thank you, Mr. Hayes. Okay, how is the school planning to manage the transition for SEN students? Will there be an opportunity for SEN children to meet their tutor prior to starting in August? Mrs. Moores, Senko, if you could answer this one, please.
Now, transition looks very different this year to normal years, and the first thing that we've done, which is really important, is that we've worked really closely with your primary school teams, with their class teachers and also the Senkos in feeder and non-feeder schools. So we've got lots of information about your children already to mean that we can support them in the best possible way when they join to us. But secondly, I'd urge you to really go and look at the transition materials on the school website. They're really useful, and they've been created in collaboration with the SEN department and also with external agencies such as the Autism Outreach Team, to make sure that what we're providing you is useful for all children, whatever their needs, but also fully accessible. So I really hope that you find them useful. But if you do have any questions, then you can contact the school office at any point, and a member of the SEN department will get back to you, so that you're not worrying about anything moving forward. The second question is whether SEN children will get the opportunity to meet their tutors before August. Now, you will now be able to put a face to a name because you've seen the Year 7 tutor video, and I hope that you'll take some time to watch that with your children. But the first opportunity your children will get to meet their tutors will be on the 26th of August during their induction day, and there will be time in that day where children will have an extended tutor period where they'll get lots of time to spend with their tutor and also their tutor group and really get to know the people in that room, and there will be SEN staff available to help throughout that day and support children. It's also important to remember that the SEN team are here all the time, so if you need help or your child is worrying or struggling with something, then they can come and see us and pop into our office, or you can get in touch with the school and we will get back to you and offer support.
And now a question about groups. Are Year 7 taught in form groups or subject groups? This is for you, Mr. Hines.
For most of the lessons, the tutor group will stay together in Year 7. That'll be across things like music, drama, ICT and even science. The only subject that they're set by ability is in maths, and we'll use teacher assessment and our own baseline test to put them in a group for maths. The only other subject that's slightly different is ADT, which is our art, design, technology, which includes food as well. With that, because the limit on the class size is 20, we do divide up the tutor groups into classes of 20, and for that one it's just a mixed ability group of 20 for the ADT subjects. The school uses a tool called Go for Schools to look after the timetable, the homework, all the reports and things like that, and we do subscribe to the app for that for parents, so parents can download an app on their phone, tie it to their students, and then they can get up to the minute information about their child. Parents do have a login to Go for Schools, and students have their own login as well, so that's the place to go to for your timetable, what homework has been set, when it's due, all of that sort of information. and we also record any events there which might be rewards or behaviour issues would go on there as well. That's also the place where you will locate any reports that are sent home. The procedure for Go for Schools, it's an automatic procedure. Parents don't need to do anything. We officially admit the Year 7 students on the first day of the term towards September, and then there's an overnight feed into Go for Schools. At that point we have the parent email addresses in Go for Schools, and that's when we can look at those, see if there's any missing ones that we can chase up. At that point your Go for Schools account is created and you'll be live hopefully within that first week. That's also the time that the students should log in to Go for Schools for the first time. So we're hoping by the end of the first full week all parents and students will have their full access to Go for Schools.
So that ends the slideshow, and I'm hoping that you've got enough information now and enough sense of confidence and understanding of the school to come to us in September on that first day and join in. As I said, we're really going to look after you on that first day. You're going to have some great fun, and we're going to ask you to come in that new PE kit that you've brought so we can do some sport with you, and you'll have a proper opportunity to get to know the school all by yourselves. So good luck, have a wonderful summer, and we will really enjoy it to see you on August the 26th. Thank you very much.